Welcome back. It is 9:52 a.m., the final interview of the morning, right here on News and Views with me, Julie Ali on Salam Media. We're now going to be talking about, oh gosh, I even feel stressed when I mention the word exams, matric exams. Thank goodness I don't have any kids at school. We'll be talking with educational psychologist Yasmin Omar, and we're going to talk about how to empower uh, children writing the exams. In this case, particularly matriculants, they started writing their first paper yesterday. So, how can we as parents help with alleviating matric exam stress? And I kind of wonder, Yasmin, when I start out, are the parents or the children more stressed out? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam. Jazakallah for having me. That is a very, very good question. I suppose the stress comes from not knowing how well prepared your child is, and you are just leaving it all to trust. Because, I mean, your matric final exam is the ultimate test at the end of one's school career. So, yes, you have parents going haywire because they feel parents just want to cushion their children and take away some of the stress. And this is where the dilemma starts. Because then with that, there's a whole lot of other anxiety issues that's going on with parents leaning in on their children and not knowing how much to lean on them and how much to allow.
I think the other issue as well is we're talking about, as parents, how you can support your children or your child through matric exams or any exams that they're writing. But I think we need to stop for a minute and also examine ourselves, our motives, and how much of pressure we are putting on them. We are placing on them. For example, you'll ace your exams. I'm expecting 3 distinctions. I'm expecting 10 distinctions. Um, and forget that that is adding to the burden of the child's learning and preparing for the exams itself.
So now matriculants have already started their exams yesterday, and the rest of the country would be going in another about 3 weeks into their final exams. And while the focus now is on matrics, because that's the penultimate assessment period for their entry into the tertiary field, I think one of the most important thing is to know what you can do and what you should not be doing to make things easier. It's easier when you have a relationship with your children, which you should at all stages, at all step of the way. Yes, at this stage they want to push you away and so on, but I think the most important message that we can give to parents is not to be overbearing and to not go too much into their child's space. You have to keep a close eye on them because there are signs that you will notice, there are signs that would be evident, but let them get on with their studies. You can look for behaviors that would be a cause for concern. For instance, you should know their study schedule, help them set it up, and so on. Just be the buffer around them, away from family dynamics and politics and so on. But in all of that, I think they keeping a close eye on them is very, very important, so that they do not get too far behind and they are keeping on track. Empowering them from a young age is important. Then, when you get to the final stages, it's much easier. Sorry, I may have went off track there. What were you
No, not
talking
at all.
about? Did
Not
I
at all.
answer your
As
question?
as you were speaking, Yasmin, what's come to mind is I think we as parents also put way too much burden on them, do we not? And then we get caught into that competitive mentality with our family circles, our friends, etc., by comparing our children. We're always boasting about what my child has achieved, and we take it on ourselves. So if your sister-in-law, your friend, or someone in your community says to you that, oh, my child has achieved XYZ, we almost look upon it as a failure on ourselves and we start becoming very, very hard on our children, we also tend to push them in a direction that they're not comfortable to be in or to go in.
Very true. We find that happening a lot in our community. I think one thing that we do know, but we tend to forget, is that each child is an individual and they have their own strengths, they have their own weaknesses, and we should not be comparing. Comparing in terms of Iman is more important than your grades. If your child has done their best at 56%, and you know that they've given it their best, encourage them, say, I know you can do better, but I'm happy with that. And in that way, it's self motivating as well. You do get some children who are extremely um, relaxed, too relaxed, and parents feel the urge to push, but you should not be overbearing at all points in time. Just remember the boundaries. Just remember that at this point in time, I'm not going to ask more of this child. Let him know that I am there for him. Because ultimately, if you're going to accept that in the taqdeer is already written which university they're going to go to, which what the results are going to be like. So why are you stressing about all of those things? Alhamdulillah, it will get there. He will get to where he is supposed to, as it was written for him. So putting undue pressure is not helping at all. You can give them targets to achieve. Don't be unrealistic with your targets. I mean, you yourself were at school and you know how difficult it was. Were you able to do that? Think about it for yourself, firstly.
Let's look at the aspect of reward. Um, is it a good idea to talk about rewards or bribery at this point? In fact, if you say things to your matriculant that if you pass with X amount of distinctions, I'm going to buy you a car, etc. What are we setting that child up for? Maybe not necessarily failure, but to possibly go through life being rewarded all the time. What are your thoughts around that? And do you actually start those type of conversations at this juncture, or are these conversations you should have had a long time ago, in way before they even reached matric?
Definitely way before you reach matric. You, as I said, setting realistic targets and goals, and not overbearing the child. Whereas rewarding, getting a car is a necessity. It's not so much of a luxury item anymore, depending on the model of the car. And you should let the child know that I will be getting this for you, but I want you to play your part as well, without putting undue pressure for A's and B's and so on. Everyone's not capable of doing that, getting the A's and B's. When you are sitting in that exam room all alone, the stress is unbearable, and at the back of your mind you've got this, and you don't want any unfortunate incidents happening from that, because you have to watch your kids as well, and look for warning signs for behaviors that they may be struggling because of increased pressure and stress, and get them the help that they need. But rewarding children every time they do something, that is something that I discourage most parents from, because it's setting unrealistic standards. In life, you are not going to always be rewarded. And if you are setting, for example, a HIFS student, saying once you complete your HIFS, then we will go for Umrah. That's fine. You've given him the chance. You have not said by this date, you have not said by this time, but you said when you do. So, in the same way, when you do and you do need a car for university, I will get it for you, if that's feasible for the parent. But other than that, setting unrealistic goals and reward system, I would strongly urge them against it.
So, Yasmin,
Some children, sorry,
no, you
G.
carry on.
I said some children work towards things better, because that's how they have been brought up. I mean, the mother has been doing it and the parents have been doing it from a young age. If it's working for a positive, towards a positive outcome, then it's fine. But I strongly suggest that if you are starting off or you try to get away from it, because you are not letting the child learn from mistakes. It's always rewards, 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 because at the end of the day, are you not really going to get the child that particular Xbox or that particular PlayStation and so on? I mean, you'll find something else to give it. Is it more for you and for your peace of mind, or is it more for the child? I mean, if realistic rewards, we will go on a holiday. You are planning on going on a holiday, but you choose the holiday. We are going to, I will buy you a tacky, and but you've got to now realize that these are the options for the tackies, and I'm not going to go way out and get you expensive ones and so on. Be realistic. If the child needs it, then it's fine. Work towards things that the child needs.
Okay. Over the past few days, I think at the beginning of the week or towards the end of last week, I was very surprised when I saw the strap line on one of the mainstream media TV channels, which suggested that the Department of Education is urging um, matriculants not to go into the exam room with anything that would allow them to copy during the exams, and has given them guidelines as to what will be allowed in the exam room and what won't. And I was surprised that the department is even thinking along those lines. Why have we come to that point where the department has to issue a statement along those lines to tell children? I mean, that's a huge lesson, is it not? You're going to be writing your exams. Please don't even think about any means or ways of copying.
It's become so prevalent, and children are so desperate to get a university entrance that they're even paying for the exam papers. And sometimes people are exploiting this whole thing and giving them false papers as well, and they just going through and paying for this and looking around for tips and so on. That's because of poor planning. I mean, if you haven't planned well and you're not confident enough, you are going to resort to these measures. So unfortunately, we do have this year in and year out. In the news, we do see evidence of copying coming through, and it's so easy to spot. I was a matric marker, and very easy to spot when a child's answers are definitely not his own. It's very easy, even if you don't know the child. So you do will get caught. So don't go that way, because it's going to be a mark against your name. That slur is going to carry through when you go into the workplace as well. So it's not worth it. I mean, you won't be allowed entrance into universities. So don't be. Dishonesty does not pay. Just do your best. The pressure from everyone else. Remember, there's always remarks, there's always rewrites, so you can always focus on those subjects that you did not do well in at a later stage. But that's fine. It's fine. Your mark is what you get, is what you've worked for, and what you are going to get into is going to be what's planned and written out for you.
Alhamdulillah. Let's wrap up. Two pieces of advice. The first piece of advice to the learners themselves sitting their metric exams, and advice to the parents during this very stressful time.
Look, there's lots of anxiety around the final exams, because it's considered to be a final watershed opportunity for young people, and people don't understand the options available to them. So, keeping calm and keeping your eye on perspective is very, very important, and parents should nurture that. Eating well, being hydrated, working timeously, working according to schedule, planning yourself, and remember, don't be too proud to ask for help. You always, I mean, we are in a society, Allah Ta'ala has put us into a society so that we can lean on one another. So ask for help if you need it. Ask for help even now if you require extra tuition for a few things and so on. Go ahead and just polish up. Help one another get through it. And remember that ultimately, Your results have already been written. Your life plan has already been written. And inshallah, you will get there as Allah Ta'ala planned. Keep your eye on your goal, but don't push yourself to a point where it is unreasonable.
Okay, Yasmin, before I let you go, just remind us where are you based, so that if people do want to engage with you, they know where and how they can contact you.
So I'm in Parkwood in Johannesburg, and I am. You can find me on a Google search, Yasmin Umar, educational psychologist, and give me a call.
Inshallah. Thank you indeed for your input, your insights, and your time. Much appreciated. Go well. Till the next time. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam.
And that's our show for today. Thank you indeed for your time. Hope you've enjoyed the interviews as much as I've enjoyed your company. Please take care on the roads, and to the matriculants, keep at it. Keep focused. Don't be stressed. You will get through this. And if you've, as the psychologist has said, if you've been planning properly and correctly, inshallah, you'll get and you will reach your goal. From me, Julie Ali, till next week, Monday at the same time. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and Khudafiz.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help. The people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people.
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Sha'alan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salam Media on social media pages for more on this tour and be part of the conversation.